Alright people, by popular demand we're doing a walk around video of the 300 horsepower U1300. So this is Craig's truck. He's had it for 12 years or something. There's not much this truck doesn't have. It has overdrive, it has working gears, it has an awesome custom made camper on the back of it, aircon, high-speed portals. So not only an overdrive, he runs high-speed portals as well, which we can't get for the bigger trucks, but the smaller U1300s have. So these normally have a 5.7 litre normally aspirated motor, so the same as what's in our 1700s but with no turbo. So you can imagine how slow that was. So he went and put a turbo on it, put this intercooler out of a 1450 Mog. So this truck was an ex-ambulance from England. So that intercooler, he was already on it. We've just modified it to suit the newer engine. So the main differences from the 366 to the earlier 352s and that is these run an actual inlet manifold. It's a bit hard to see because there's stuff everywhere, but so that's what makes them, and they're 5.9 litres. So the head's different. The block is basically the same, obviously different bore and stroke to make the capacity, but the head's the main difference, which is hard to see because there's pipes and stuff everywhere. But yeah, so they run a separate inlet manifold, and predominantly that's, you know, flows a lot better, and that's where the extra horsepower and everything comes. So we've put a bigger Marley turbo on it that he supplied us. They run an internal wastegate, but this thing runs all the boost. So it's running about 26 pounds at full noise. So the conversion itself is pretty straightforward. The motor bolts in, gearbox and everything bolts up. We had to modify, you know, cooler pipe work and stuff like that. This had to be modified, but all this, his aircon bolted back up, compressor bolted back up, his alternator bolted back up. So, you know, obviously exhaust, we had to make a custom 4-inch exhaust which comes down there, and he's got boxes and everything everywhere, so we couldn't run it out the side or out the back very easily. So yeah, so that's 2 resonators jammed in there and a 4-inch outlet. So I've done a bit of a, well, I'm doing this video after the drive video, but so I've done a bit of a drive video, so I'll touch that on to the end of it. But yeah people, this is what a 300 horsepower U1300 looks like. Mate, it's amazing. Words do not describe the difference this motor has made to this truck. You know, we can all dream of putting a bigger turbo on our other engines and making, you know, maybe low to mid 200s, but you're not going to have the torque this thing has. No, you're kidding yourself. So yeah, you know, there's a few people who claim they're making near 300. They could make horsepower and torque are 2 different things. Torque's what moves the truck, horsepower is what, you know, everybody that wants a number wants. So yeah, it's an amazing truck. Credit to Craig, and you know, we're going to roll with the driving video. Unfortunately, driving videos never really show the you know, what's the word? Give justice to what's actually happening. But yeah, this is one awesome truck, and he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. So you ever see him on the road, he'll happily baffle you with part numbers and figures because he knows them all. But yeah, nice guy, well-deserved truck, and you see him out, stop him and say hello. Alright, so here we are at a set of lights. We'll give it a bit of a drag race just to give you an idea of how well it accelerates. The videos, it's never going to do it justice really, but we're going to get up to 80k. So. And I wasn't pinned because it's not my truck, but we're revving it out, but I'm not flogging it obviously. But that's back up to 80 k's now. We're still in top gear, and don't forget overdrive is actually on at the moment, I think. You know, we're back down now to 60 k's top gear, cruising up the hill. The motor's making, well, making 20 pounds of 10 pounds of boost, and we're not having to go back a gear to cruise up this hill. We're now down to no indicators on that model. Now we missed a gear, but gives you an idea. So the drivability is just amazing. Sorry, now overdrive was on. So I was not in overdrive before, so we're in overdrive now. So we're going to go down the freeway and then I'll come up. I don't know if the camera's going to show the gauges very well. They were very hard to film the other day, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. But we're at currently 1500 RPM in overdrive, and if I just squeeze the throttle, see the boost comes up and we just pull away. So we're now doing 90 kilometers an hour. I started accelerating at 70, so that gives you an idea of how much torque it's got. Alright, so currently cruising along at 90 kilometers an hour. What are we doing? 2200 RPM, 90 kilometers an hour. Now we'll let these cars get a bit ahead this time. Apparently blinkers are optional. Alright, so I'm going to slow it down to 22,000 RPM in top gear, so that's overdrive on, and don't forget this has high speed portals. So we'll slow it down. Alright, so we're now at 2,000 RPM, and I'm just going to squeeze the throttle. And this is a slight incline here, people. So we are already at 100. 80 k's in top gear, and that's with the overdrive on, and let's see what we can pull going up there.